morning. Welcome to Politics is Power.
Hello, my name is Douglas Wilson. Welcome to Politics is Power. I'm here with Rosa Garvin, and we're also here with Sylvester Fleming, President of the African American Caucus for Mecklenburg County for the Democratic Party. We are out here today. We're doing our spring shows of Politics is Power, and we want to show you that when you talk about politics, it's a kitchen table discussion, and you can have it in any place at any time, including in one's backyard. But here today we're going to talk about the 2012 presidential election and how the African American Caucus is working hard each day to make sure that President Barack Obama is elected, as well as Democrats up and down the ticket in North Carolina, including and hopefully a new Democratic governor. So, Sylvester Fleming, welcome to the show.
It's nice to have you.
Hello,
Thank
Sylvester.
you.
How are you?
Fine. How about yourself today?
We are well. Thank you for joining us. Sylvester, I've got one quick question for you. Tell us exactly, what is the AAC?
Well, the AAC, what it is the African American Caucus. African American Caucus here, we represent Mecklenburg County, the Democratic Party. So it's it's AAC MCDP. Now, one of the things that we're the only individuals that have a seat at the Democratic table that can bring up the African American agenda. So any issues that affect the African American community, it is our responsibility to be able to bring it to the table, discuss it, and vote upon it so that the laws and our representatives understand and support the African American community.
Okay. So what exactly are you doing in Mecklenburg County?
Well, in Mecklenburg County, one of the things that we want to do, in Mecklenburg County, the African American population represents over 53% of the voting population. For those who don't understand what 53% really represents, there's over 535,000 individuals that are registered Democrats here in Mecklenburg County. We represent over 53% of that. That's close to 300,000 individuals. So we are the majority, even though we think we are the minority. So when it comes to businesses, it comes to community, it comes to education, it comes to all of those things that we have issues with, we get to be able to take the voice of the people back to the table, discuss it, vote upon it, and make sure that our voices are represented in the laws that are passed today.
Okay, so you spoke about the AAC, African American Caucus. We know in Mecklenburg we have the Black Political Caucus, which has been around for a long time, and many would say that the Black Political Caucus is the godfather of politics in the Black community. So why should I join the African American Caucus as opposed to joining the Black Political Caucus when both of them kind of do the same thing? Am I right?
Well, that is one of the misunderstandings that go on with the Black Political Caucus and the African American Caucus. The Black Political Caucus is an organization that comes together and discuss political issues. Unfortunately, they're not affiliated with anybody. So that's like you and I having a conversation right now. We can talk about the issues, but we don't have an avenue to go and sit at anybody's voting table to make that difference. The African American Caucus is the only affiliate of the Democratic Party. That means being an affiliate of the Democratic Party, we are a part of that party. That means we bring out democratic issues. We also put people in a position to learn politics, to learn how it works, and to mature and cultivate the individuals that's running for tomorrow. See, unfortunately, as the African American Caucus, there is an overlap. The overlap is not a bad thing, but it is when you don't understand that one has a seat at the table and the other doesn't. So what we're trying to do here is to say, okay, individuals, the Black Political Caucus, I'm never going to talk down about any other organization, but we have that piece that no one else has. We have that seat at the table. We're represented at the state level. We're represented here locally. We can go to Wake County. We can go to Rowan County. There's an African American caucus there that has the same agenda, the same bylaws that allow us to operate as an organization. An organization that is not just locally, but also statewide.
And Roswell, I think what makes the African American Caucus so unique is that North Carolina, if I'm right, is the only state where the state Democratic Party has an African American caucus. I don't think our surrounding states like South Carolina or Georgia or even Tennessee has it. So I think that's something that's definitely unique. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great. How about membership and things of that nature? I mean, do you have a lot of people in the community that's working along with you? How do you reach out to members, things of that nature?
Well, I'm glad you. I'm gonna comment on both of your comments. I don't believe that there's coincidence the reason President Barack Obama chose North Carolina. See, North Carolina is the footprint of change. That footprint of change is the reason that he came here. We used to be a red state, no longer. And the reason why is because organizations like the African American Caucus or the African American Caucus, we're reaching the communities by we're getting involved with our website. We're getting involved with Twitter. We're getting involved with people walking on the street. We have the business community that's in right now. Our goal this year is to get 1% together so that we can move as a unit. 1% of 300,000 is 3,000 individuals that we can be a part of the business community. We can be a part of the school community. We can be a part of social change. We can be a part of all those things while integrating the African American Caucus with the NAACP. See, the NAACP is about social change, but they also need that part that deals with the government. That's where we come in. And so far, we're bringing out communications through Twitter, Facebook. We also have a part now where we can send out text messages to all of our members so that they know exactly what's going on issues like Amendment 1, on issues about individuals who's voting. We even having a community forum where we're going to introduce our candidates to the community, a vetting process, so that they not only hear a nice speech, but know what their voting records are, know what where they stand on issues, be able to get their questions in so that the candidates can answer.
Okay, are you finished with that before?
Well, yes.
Well, with our remaining time, I want to talk about voter ID, and we all know that voter ID is going to be a huge issue this year, and it's affecting the minority community in greater numbers. African Americans, Hispanics, even senior citizens. In your opinion, why do you think that voter ID is something that is coming up now, when Republicans have had control of on the national level of the House and the Senate for the last decade before Democrats took over? Why do you think it's happening now?
Well, I believe one of the issues that we have with voter ID, and to step back one step from that, is that taking something that is not mandatory and putting it with a mandatory process. See, voting is a right. Getting an ID is a choice. So what happens when I pair up a right with a choice, that's making that choice mandatory. See, what happens, you have a lot of individuals who may be elderly in a nursing home who cannot make it to the DMV to get their ID there. You may have individuals who are in a situation where they cannot have a ID. So what you did is you took this voluntary process and paired it with a right. That's the problem that's wrong. And I think as long as they can do that, they can limit the rights of individuals to vote. That is the issue. You should never limit anyone's right to have a voice. And then once you start limiting people's rights to have a voice, then the small minority will control the majority. And this country was not based on the minority. It was based on the majority's right to have a voice. So to take anybody's voice away from them is a misjustice in itself.
Right. Well, do you think that it's because that many states want to stop the re-election of President Barack Obama?
Well, if you look at the individuals or the demographics of where his votes came from, his votes came from those individuals who felt that they were being mistreated. They came from those individuals who may not be a part of the process. It came from those individuals who may not have IDs. It came from the individuals in the nursing homes, the youth on college campuses who may not need a voter ID. It came from individuals in New York where public transportation is involved. If you're riding public transportation, why do I need a driver's license? Why do I need to go out and get this ID? So that's the issue right there. A lot of his base did come from those individuals. Now, it's not by coincidence that they're targeting the voter ID. It's a strategic move to weaken the base of the individuals they voted for. So that is something that is not done lightly. It's done with end in mind. But unfortunately, the only victim is the people between the strategic reasoning and the outcome. The individuals in the middle who wanted a voice that you're taking away because you're pairing up a voluntary process to a right.
Can you tell our watchers how can they find out more about you? Do you have a website?
Yes, we do. For anybody who's interested in the African American caucus and to be able to have their voice and their opinions heard, please go to www.aacmcdp.org. That's again www.aacmcdp.org. If you want your voice to be heard, you want to be a part of the solution and not the problem. If you're tired of sitting around at your couch and complaining, why aren't they doing the things the way that they need to be happening? Please get involved. We'd love to have you because your voice will be made if it's from us or from you. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for joining us today for Politics is Power. Our show is going to be a little bit different today. I'm your host, of course, Rosa Garvin, and we have Kim Singletary here with us. I want to talk about, we're having a Unity Day celebration at Freedom Park in front of the band shell on June the 9th, 2012. So we look for all of our listeners to come out and join us in the park. There's going to be food, folks, fun, games for the children. It's going to be a lot going on. You could get a chance to talk to your local politicians about some of the issues that you may have and come out and meet them. And we also have a very special guest that's coming out on June the 9th, 2012 at Freedom Park in front of the band shell. It's going to be George McGovern, and we are so excited about meeting with him and talking to him. Kim had an opportunity last year to attend our first annual cookout in the park. And Kim, tell us your experience.
Well, Rosa, thank you very much for inviting me here this morning. And like Rosa was saying, I invite each and every one of you to come out to Freedom Park on June 9th. Last year when I came to the event, I had a wonderful time. It was a very open atmosphere where you had food, fun.
And hopefully this is going to help unify us, because we got something very important going to happen this year, and that's our Mayor, Anthony Foxx. We want to make sure that he's the one that welcomes our president when he comes here in 2012. Anybody agree with that? Somebody got to agree with that. Listen, I want to first of all thank everybody that's helping, all the members, our associate members, and everybody that's here. But if you would, take time and greet your neighbor, let them know who you are, and let them know how grateful you are to be a Democrat. Because as long as you stay off that T, you're going to be okay. Everybody, thanks for coming. We're getting ready to put on some slide music and have a great time. Thank you.
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Such a big Miss Molly. She's feeling jolly. She's moving with electric. Don't wanna lose it. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You got to use it. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Now you know it's there. And
event would not have been possible if it wasn't for a young gentleman that I met over 4 years ago when I was working for President Obama on his presidential campaign. And that young man, I call him young even though he's older than me, Mr. Willie Fleming. Tell you about Willie. Willie's a good friend of mine, even though he can get on my last nerve at times. There are 2 things I do every morning. When I get up, I work out. And every time I'm working out, this man calls me at 9 o'clock in the morning every morning just to give me the lowdown for the rest of the day. But all in all, Willie's a great man, and he's really put his heart and soul into this event. And as a result, the members and the executive committee of the African American Caucus would like to present a plaque to Mr. Willie Fleming. We kept this a secret. Loretta and Rosa told me, like, hey, we want to give Willie a plaque. I said, yeah, sure. And we were trying to come up with a name for the plaque, and Loretta and Rosa came up with the Golden Fleming Award. And it reads, the Golden Fleming Award presented to Willie Fleming. Thank you, thanks for all your never-ending dedication, time, and service. The African American Caucus 2011. So let's get a round of applause for Willie.
Don't cry, Willie. Don't cry.
You know, I tell you, really, this means so much to me to get this stuff. I tell you what, when you talk about what I've done, is what we've done as a group. I look out here now, and this is what the United States of America should look like. That's right. This is what our party should look like. This is something we got to strive to do, because again, we're never going to let what happened in 2010 happen ever again.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to unite so we can fight to make it right, because we know what this world needs. We know what we need here. I thank our president, our state president for being here. I thank John Autry. I thank all of you guys. Because when you unite like this, it gives us that feeling of being Democrats again. So on behalf of everybody else, I thank y'all so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Politics is Power. We want to invite you to a Unity Day cookout at Freedom Park in front of the band shell on June the 9th, 2012. That is actually this coming Saturday, so we look forward to seeing you there. Today we have Willie Fleming, who is the president of the North Carolina African American Caucus of the Democratic Party. And Willie, tell us a little bit how this Unity Day cookout started.
Yeah, we started this back in 2011. We got together with the Hispanics, the Asians, the young them, the senior them, and decided that the way to make this organization powerful was to be able to build a coalition. And it's worked great so far. We've got people elected to the DNC, also delegates elected. But this year, like I said, it's going to be something special because we got an additional 5 counties going to participate. Iredell County, Rowan County, Cabarrus County, Catawba County, and Gaston County, along with Mecklenburg. Also, we have Senator George McGovern and the ex-presidential candidate George McGovern being as one of our guest speakers. We're also celebrating Juneteenth, which is very important to all African Americans. We want everybody to come out and join us on what I believe is going to be something, an annual event that's going to be really good. We got food, music, fellowship, Democrats, vendors are here, so I want everybody, invite everybody to come out.
Well, let me ask you a question. Can kids come too?
Sure, we got games and everything for the kids. And, you know, we want to make this a family affair. So we'll see a rainbow of coalition, people getting together and having a good time, and to help get our officials elected.
Great. So do you have speakers? Tell me a little bit about some of the candidates coming.
Sure. We got candidates from district court judges or senators or House representatives. They'll all be here. They come in to fellowship with everybody and ask for your vote. And it's a good time for you to see them and ask them what is important for you to vote for them. So yeah, it's good. I've got to tell you, it's going to be from 11 to 3. Make sure that get here early when the tents are set up and the food's cooking and the music and the people where you can sit back and fellowship and have a good time.
So that is June the 9th, 2012, which is this coming Saturday at Freedom Park at front of the band shell. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of food, a lot of folks. The food is going to be wonderful. Can't wait to taste some of those hot dogs. So we are looking for you to join us at Freedom Park on June the 9th, 2012.
Here I have with me Mr. Willie Fleming. He's the president of the Mecklenburg County African American Caucus. And Mr. Fleming, what is the purpose of this event today?
Well, the purpose today is for us to unify the party. We've had such a division between our party, and I think we lost what we had in 2008, and we're trying to bring it back. 2008 was great. 2010, we won't let it happen again. So we're here to reunite so we can fight.
Why should African Americans and young people get involved in politics today?
Well, for young people and African American people, we were very crucial in getting President Obama nominated and elected. And in order to kind of keep that momentum going, it's important that young people, especially 18 to 35, know that politics is where you can get involved and become active in your city or state on any level and just have your voice heard. And as far as African Americans, we are a huge group of underrepresented people, and by being involved, we're able to make our voices be heard.
Why do you feel African Americans and young people should get involved in politics today?
Again, votes count. African Americans, young people, we're all in the same issues that we face each other. Politics dictate your life, your work, your habitat, your health care issues. So we need everybody out there voting.
How do you feel the 2012 Democratic Convention will help win votes for the president in 2012?
That's an easy question. I'm glad he brought it to North Carolina first. But you remember what happened in 2008? That's the same thing we're going to do in 2012. We're going to repeat that. But we're going to work hard, because you can have something happen the first time, but having it to duplicate it's going to be hard. We're already working. We got the strategy out. We're going to work with the OFA, which is either Organizing for Obama or Obama for America. So we're going to work with them to make sure that this state stays blue.
Now, I see that you're running for City Council District 5. What are some of the issues that's affecting Charlotte, and why are you running?
Well, I'm effectively running for Charlotte because I want to be able to affect the quality of life for the citizens of Charlotte. And the East Side has lots of challenges, but in those challenges I see lots of opportunities. And I want the rest of the city to understand what kinds of opportunities we have in the 5th District. And I want everyone to be able to participate in that. And I want equitable resources to be distributed equitably throughout the city. Because if we're going to have a vibrant city and a world-class city, every part of that city has to be able to thrive. And so we want to make sure that the East Side has those same opportunities that all the rest of the city does, and to build a stronger city in total, because of one section is going to be able to suffer and to still have the great kind of city that you want to have.
Now, we know in the news that the county commission is looking at ways to fund CMS. There are some that saying that we should have a raise in sales tax or cut in taxes, or anyway, they're having a lot of talks on how to raise money for CMS. What is your stance on that?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm happy to talk about it. But until you really understand the particulars and the ins and outs of it, you see, I look at it sometimes and think, we really don't have a deficit problem. We've got a revenue problem, because we certainly don't want to see our city suffer and our children opportunity to be nipped before they really get an opportunity to really get started in life by cutting back on education, making it more difficult for them to learn and reap the benefits that you and I shared in whenever we were growing up.
That's right.
We don't want to see that. So we need to find the ways that we can cut, waste, cut, and be sure that we're providing the kinds of opportunities that we want to give our children so that they have everything they need to be able to succeed.
For the viewers, what is the African American Caucus, so they will know?
The African American Caucus is Charlotte Auxiliary, of the Democratic Party. And what we do is we want to make sure that we get the word out to the public, to the African American neighborhood and communities. And also make sure that we encourage them to run for public office, state office, national office, and help them win those elections.
Now, with the DNC coming to Charlotte, we know that there's going to be a lot of events coming on and going on here. How do you think African Americans can get involved with the DNC convention?
Well, one thing, doing what we do now, we have around 44-45% of the Democratic vote. It's just a matter of fact of GOTV, getting the people out to vote and being engaged. People like yourself, Doug, have been working with the Democrats for so long and so in depth. If you're not engaged, you're not going to let anything happen. That's all we have to do is get engaged, unify each other, work with our officials and our elected officials and make it happen.
Okay. And finally, what is the most pressing issue, in your opinion, that's affecting African Americans in Charlotte?
It's job market. We really need jobs. I think we need to be more jobs created. We also need to work among ourselves to create jobs among ourselves. I think a lot of time we wait to be hired for a job when we can be entrepreneurs and create our own jobs. I've been self-employed for 21 years. Not rich, but I can tell you what, it's the way to go. We have the power, we have the numbers. All we got to do is unify and make it happen.
What role do you think African Americans should play in making sure Obama wins North Carolina and wins the State House?
Well, African Americans is the critical voting bloc, along with emerging voter blocs like Latinos, Hispanics, and we just need to push them out. Not only register them to vote, but also make sure that they get out to vote, because that's going to be critical in 2012 and protecting our mayoral seat in 2011. With Mayor Fox running, it's going to be critical that we energize our core base and get them out so that we can continue to elect Democrats.
Okay.
What is the purpose of this event today? What do you feel is the purpose of this event today?
The purpose of this event, of course, everybody's purpose is a little bit different, but it is actually to celebrate a union of all the different organizations celebrating this very special holiday, and all of us coming together as different groups of diversity, but we have one common ground, and that's we're all Democrats.
How important do you feel that Hispanic vote is in North Carolina?
Critically important. Hispanics represent 5% of the population here in North Carolina, according to the last census, but only 2% of the registered voters. And we got to change that because obviously the Hispanic population, just like the African American population, is very future focused, and that's what the Democratic Party is all about. So it's critically important. We're going to do outreach programs, try to go into the Hispanic community more. We've got a strong Hispanic Democrats caucus that started focused right now primarily on Mecklenburg County, but already growing out into the rest of the state. So we've got good things happening.